Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, Jarrod Ramos, the man accused of killing 5 people at the Capital Gazette building, waives his right to have his initial appearance this morning. Keisha Butts was at the Annapolis courthouse where she interviewed the state's attorney, Wes Adams, about what happened in court earlier today.
Jarrod Ramos, the 38-year-old man accused of killing 5 people at the Capital Gazette, was supposed to have his initial appearance in court today at the Anne Arundel Circuit Court. However, his case was taken off the docket. I spoke to State's Attorney Wes Adams, who has more to say about what happened today in court.
Today was supposed to be what they call an initial appearance. That proceeding is designed to advise the defendant of his right to an attorney, each of his charges, and the maximum penalty for each of those charges. So what happened today was the defendant's attorney, Bill Davis, entered his appearance this morning at about 8:45. When he entered his appearance, there was no more need for any sort of hearing, no appearance by the defendant, because Mr. Davis now assumes the responsibility of advising his client of the charges, the nature of the charges, the elements, and what all the maximum penalties are.
Adams says a date is still to be set for Ramos's hearing. Ramos was indicted on 23 charges, including 5 counts of murder. In Annapolis, for CTV News, I'm Keisha Butts.
And this just into the newsroom, we've learned that Ramos has pleaded not guilty. This was one of the deadliest attacks involving U.S. journalists in decades. Well, 2 people have been charged after a shooting in Fort Washington last night. Police responded to the 7200 block of Shockley Court about 7:30. They found the victim, 22-year-old Giovanni Little, suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Within minutes, officers located and arrested the suspects, 25-year-old Irvin Silva and 17-year-old Jelani Edwards. Both men are charged with first and second-degree murder. Edwards has been charged as an adult. Anyone with information is asked to call police.
County officials are speaking out about the controversy involving an elderly Laurel couple and their wheelchair ramp. Evelyn and David Straley's son built it beside their home. He wanted to help his mom get in and out since she is in a wheelchair. The family claimed that the county forced them to tear it down because they did not have a permit. But CTV News spoke with the deputy director of the Department of Permitting, Inspection, and Enforcement, and he said that they offered to help the family through the permitting process, which would have only taken about a day. He also says that the son was never told to destroy the ramp.
There is what we call the letter of the law that says you will absolutely do this or not do that. And then there's the spirit of the law. In cases like this where we see that they've already done the construction, we don't ask them to tear it down. We ask them to have it inspected, submit the proper paperwork so they can have their ramp and enter and exit the house. Once he submits the proper paperwork, he goes through several stations downstairs. They have a structural engineer review it to make sure that he has the proper anchoring, the proper ramp, the proper pitch. And then once he does all that, he may be asked to make a few corrections on the drawing, and he can literally walk out of here with a permit within 4 hours.
So where do you go from here?
Well, it's actually up to the applicant. If he wants to come in and sit down with us, we will walk him through the process and have him have a permit issued.
Now, the county said they apologized to the family for any misunderstanding in the situation. Still, they will have to get a permit if they decide to proceed with building that ramp. Metro reaches an agreement with its union to increase wages in exchange for employees paying more towards their health care. The new 5-year contract comes after 2 years of negotiation. It will take effect immediately following approval by WMATA's board of directors in September. Metro expects to reduce its health care costs by almost $2.3 million over the term of that contract.